was very skeptical about selling on Facebook Marketplace. Like, listen, I don't need nobody trying to come kill me over some $2 item. Hey there, this is Lequita Travels. I document how small decisions create a work from anywhere life, freedom, wellness, flexibility, all the things. So, leaving breakfast as usual here in Phuket, Thailand. And I was just thinking about my journey to, I guess, living this digital nomad, expat, work anywhere type life. And one of the first things I would say I did was I started selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Like, yeah, I was like, yeah. So I just wanted to give you some tips, because you also, might live by yourself, or you might not have someone consistently at your home. And you're like, well, Lequita, I want to sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace, but I'm kind of scared because people are like really weird. So a rule of thumb of what I did was, for the most part, I live in like the suburbs near a public shopping plaza. So what I would do is, for like small items, I would, do the things on Facebook Marketplace. So how you do the recording, you take the pictures, you set the price. And I will say, with a few items, I definitely realized I sold the stuff for like too cheap, because people bought it like way too fast. So that was a little learning curve, because it was like, got to be more careful. But then other things didn't sell I guess as fast. But anyways, so if it was an item that was smaller, I would set the address as the address for the public shopping plaza, and I would just have people meet me there for smaller items. And it was literally, the public plaza was a 3-minute drive from my house. So make sure it's convenient for you, because you're already probably you're probably selling stuff at a discounted rate anyhow. So you don't really want to make it too inconvenient for you, because you're like, shoot, yes, I want to sell stuff and it's already priced well, and it wasn't too many items that I actually deliver. So if it was small, it fit in my car, I would just meet somebody at the public shopping plaza that was near my home. There were a few items where, if someone was, I guess you could say, buying in bulk, I think I had this really big mirror that I sold, and maybe 4 to 6 wall pieces. In situations like those, I think I did actually go closer to where the individuals live, just because it was very convenient to be able to do that. And also I was making at least $100. So it was worth the amount of money and the time to actually go to them. So that's one rule of thumb. Now, if the item was just a bigger item, that was more so just like a wing and a prayer, okay, that it was just going to be a good human being. So have some discernment with those. So if you have people, my daughter had this solid wood headboard that was painted in gold, and literally a lady with her spouse and her child, they literally came to come get that from my house, because that was not something that I could put in my house, that I could actually put in my car. So in those situations, what I would do is, check out the person's profile. Look to make sure they're a real human. Make sure that they've actually bought stuff beforehand on Facebook Marketplace, or they've sold things. So in those situations, you have to be a little bit more discerning, just because they're actually coming to your home. And thankfully, for the few individuals that I had to do that with, everything was fine. But I just want you to be safe. Don't just be very reckless with Facebook Marketplace, because people are people, and unfortunately just the world we live in, sometimes people just aren't good human beings. Also, something else I did, I prioritized the biggest things. So the things that I knew as I was getting prepared to start this little digital nomad lifestyle, I wanted to try to sell the things that I knew I was gonna have a tough time just trying to drag outside myself. Like in the final hour, worst of the worst, there's things I could just drag to the side of the road, put it in the trash bin and call it a day. But then there were other bigger items, like I said, that wooden headboard, I think my bedroom set, there was a table that had a TV on it. All of the big items that I knew that I wouldn't be able to move myself, I prioritized selling those. And also things that I felt like was going to be of a greater value, because I wanted to try to get bigger chunks of money. Because as time progressed, you know, sometimes you think, oh my God, I have all this time and everything is just going to be like, whatever. And the next thing you know, you're like, oh my gosh, it's that moment. Like, we got to get out this house, like ASAP. So then when it's that final hour, what I did was I actually did a post on Facebook in like this group just saying, hey, like free stuff, just come get it. And literally someone was like, hey, we have a like a thrift store or something, and you know, we sell stuff to give to the homeless. I honestly at that point didn't really care, because by that time I was because I started selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace before I left my home, and then I just left things as they were, went to Salem, Oregon to do that tribal social work contract in the behavioral health clinic. And then literally someone decided to buy my house, so I had to quickly fly back. And since I was only going to be there for a weekend at that time, didn't really have time for the Facebook Marketplace thing. I just needed to get rid of everything in the house because the house was going to sell within a week. So at that point, I just posted on Facebook, hey, free items. Someone was like, hey, I have a truck and a trailer. And once again, that had to just be on the honesty tip, but I did check out their profile, make sure, you know, they had some activity going on there before me being like the first person. And they literally came and took all the rest of the really big items from my home. And pretty much that's how I ended up cleaning out the house. So I know this video was more so about Facebook Marketplace and doing it safely. But when it comes to crunch time, if you've kind of ran out of time like I actually did in my situation, because the buyer was going to buy the house in a week. So it was like, hey, we out of time now. So you can always do that strategy too. It works really well. And I like people who have trucks and trailers, and also who just want to come get all the stuff, so you're not constantly having so many people that's just coming to your house. Even as I was leaving Salem, Oregon, I ended up doing the same thing at that point. You know, I still, as I was getting ready to go to Vietnam, but I'm actually in Thailand first, Phuket, Thailand to be exact, in the Rawah Beach area. But I did the same thing, sold a few items. I didn't really have a lot of big stuff. The big stuff I actually just gave away for free. I had like a loft bed, and once again, husband and wife team came, broke the bed down, took the bed, took the sofa bed, made life really simple. And then for some of the smaller items, I sold those. And then as far as with the clothes, I actually just end up donating those clothes to, well, one, I actually dropped some clothes off at Goodwill, and the other clothes I made a post once again in Facebook, because there was like a Salem, Oregon Facebook group that was like, hey, free stuff. And I was like, hey, I have professional clothes, this is the size, anybody wants them. But then I had the person literally meet me right downstairs from where I live, so it was always convenient, so I didn't have to like drive anywhere. Plus by then I didn't have a car anyhow, because I sold my car because I was getting ready to come to Phuket. So I guess just to kind of summarize it, start out selling the biggest ticket items possible, that you know you can't move yourself, and also that you can get the most money on Facebook Marketplace. Make sure the person has a valid profile, that they bought something, they've sold something. Also, if it's small items, meet people at the nearest like major hub, whether it's a Publix, Winn-Dixie, Sam's Club. Meet them somewhere that's public and also that's easily visible. Also, I didn't really exchange phone numbers with anyone. We always did all of our communications through Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Messenger. There were a few instances where I didn't let the person know in advance to have cash. So I had to accept cash. I had to accept like a Zelle or Cash App. Ideally, don't do that. In an ideal world, just ask them to bring the cash, and most people will because they're getting a deal anyhow. So it's really convenient and clean because, you know, when you do Zelle, you have to exchange a phone number, or Cash App. They have to know your full name. And not saying that you don't want them to know, but it's like, you know, hey, I just want to get the cash, give you the stuff, and we're gonna just keep moving. Okay, let's make this this real hit a quarter in this parking lot and be done with it. So just a few other things that I did when it came to, I guess, getting ready to make this transition to leave the US, move abroad, and just kind of have this work from anywhere life. So all right, so this is Lequita Travel.